Hi guys, welcome back. In this lesson, we will be downloading and installing Visual Studio Code. So Visual Studio Code will be the IDE that we will use to develop the code for our application. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to open up our web browser and then search for download Visual Studio Code. Okay, and then we click on the first link. Okay, so we are going to select the one for Windows. Okay, and then we should receive our download file, but I have already downloaded and installed mine, so I'll cancel this. So it's very easy to install. Once you have downloaded the install file, double click it and install Visual Studio Code. And once it's installed, we are now going to open up the IDE or search for Visual Studio Code. I open up a new window. Okay, so once you have Visual Studio opened up, the first thing that we need to do is we need to install a plugin for Python so that our IDE will know how to highlight the syntax for Python, as well as add some additional features like auto completion, etc. Okay, so we go to extensions and then we search for Python. Okay, so the one that we are going to install is this one, which is just called Python, linting, debugging, multi-threaded, etc. And it's by Microsoft. So this is the one that we need to install. And that's it. So once that is installed, obviously I've installed it already because I don't have the install button on mine. Then we go back to our source code explorer, and now we open up a folder. So we're going to open up our project folder, which is machine learning GIS, and then we open up okay, this is fine. We can just open up our project and then click on select folder. Okay, so once it's open there, can click on the drop down and then we can see our project files. So we have our Django project and our Django app. So this is what we want to see. And as you can see, the source code has been highlighted properly for us. So now the next thing that we are going to do is, which we should have done probably in the previous video, but we can do now as well. We need to test and see if Django is installed correctly. So now what we will do is we will go to terminal, click on new terminal. Okay, and then it should open up at our current path, which is our project folder, machine learning GIS, and then we are going to change the directory into our application folder, which is Quakes, or just Quake. Okay, once we're in there, the next thing that we are going to do is we are going to activate our virtual environment. So that's vn scripts activate. Okay, so once our virtual environment has been activated, now we can run our Django application to test and see if everything was installed properly and that our application is running. So that is Python manage.py run server. Okay, so it's telling us that our application is running at port 8000 in localhost. This is the IP address for localhost. Okay, so I'll copy this. Control C, hopefully it did copy. Then I'll go back to my web browser and then paste that link. And as you can see, we are getting this page which tells us that Django was installed successfully and is running properly. Right, so that is what we want to see. And also, instead of typing in the IP address, we can just type in local host port 8000, and we should see that our application is running. Okay, so we will use this from here on forward and not have to type in the whole IP. Okay, so now that we're able to run our application from our IDE, which is what we want, so Control C to stop the server from running. And that's it for this video. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.